A computer network is a collection of devices. It might be computers, servers, printers, routers, switches, or any other network devices that are connected together using wired or wireless communication technologies. The purpose of a computer network is to enable communication and resource sharing among devices on the network. In a computer network, a client is a device or software application that requests services or resources from another device or software application called a server. The client initiates the communication with the server and sends a request for a specific service or resource. The server responds to the client's request by providing the requested service or resource. A server, on the other hand, is a device or software application that provides services or resources to clients in response to their requests. Servers are typically more powerful and have more resources than clients, allowing them to handle multiple client requests simultaneously. Clients and servers can be either hardware devices, such as computers, or software applications running on those devices. For example, a web browser running on a computer is a client that requests web pages from a web server, which is a software application running on another computer. Similarly, an email client running on a smartphone is a client that requests email messages from an email server running on a mail server. Switches are devices used in computer networks to connect devices such as computers, printers, servers, and other network devices. Switches are used to create a network by connecting devices and allowing them to communicate with each other. Switches operate at the data link layer of the OSI model, and they use MAC media access control addresses to identify and forward packets of data to their destination. When a switch receives data, it checks the destination MAC address and forwards the data to the appropriate port that is connected to the device with that MAC address. Switches can be managed or unmanaged. Managed switches allow network administrators to configure and monitor the switch, while unmanaged switches are simpler and do not have any configurable options. Switches can also come in different sizes, ranging from small desktop models with just a few ports to large rack-mounted switches that can support hundreds of ports. Here are some of the key characteristics of switches in a computer network. Forwarding. Switches forward data packets between devices connected to different ports. Port. Switches have multiple ports that can be used to connect devices. Each port on a switch is assigned a unique MAC address. Address learning. Switches automatically learn the MAC addresses of devices connected to their ports, and build a table of MAC addresses and their associated ports. Address aging. Switches remove old entries from their MAC address tables after a certain period of time to free up space for new entries. Broadcast storm prevention. Switches use various techniques to prevent broadcast storms, which occur when too many broadcast packets are sent on a network. Virtual LAN support. Switches can support virtual LANs, which enable network administrators to partition a physical network into multiple virtual networks. Quality of service COS support. Switches can support COS, which enables network administrators to prioritize certain types of traffic over others. Management. Switches can be managed or unmanaged. Managed switches allow network administrators to configure and monitor the switch, while unmanaged switches are simpler and do not have any configurable options. Overall, switches play a crucial role in enabling communication between devices in a computer network, and the specific features and characteristics of switches can vary depending on the specific needs and requirements of the network. Routers are devices used in computer networks to connect multiple networks together and enable communication between them. A router operates at the network layer, layer 3, of the OSI, Open Systems Interconnection, model and uses IP addresses to forward packets of data between networks. Routers are responsible for determining the best path for data to travel between networks, based on information in routing tables that are maintained by the router. When a router receives a packet of data, it examines the destination IP address and looks up the corresponding network in its routing table. The router then forwards the packet to the next hop on the path to the destination network. In addition to forwarding data, routers can also perform other functions such as filtering traffic, blocking unauthorized access to a network, and prioritizing traffic based on different criteria. Routers can be configured to connect different types of networks, such as local area networks, wide area networks, and the Internet. They are essential components of modern computer networks and play a crucial role in enabling communication between different networks. Here are some of the key characteristics of routers in a computer network. Packet forwarding. Routers forward packets of data between different networks, based on the destination IP address. Routing. Routers determine the best path for data to travel between networks, based on information in routing tables that are maintained by the router. Addressing. Routers use IP addresses to identify and route packets of data between networks. Network segmentation. Routers can be used to segment a network into multiple subnets, which can improve network performance and security. Security. Routers can be used to implement security features such as access control lists (ACLs) and firewalls, which can help to protect the network from unauthorized access and attacks. Quality of service (QoS). Routers can support QoS, which enables network administrators to prioritize certain types of traffic over others. Network address translation (NAT). Routers can use NAT to allow devices on a private network to communicate with devices on the public internet using a single IP address. VPN support. Routers can support virtual private networks (VPNs), which enable remote users to securely connect to the network devices, the internet. Management. Routers can be managed using a web-based interface or a command line interface. Management features can include configuring routing tables, implementing security policies, and monitoring network activity. Overall, routers are essential components of modern computer networks, and the specific features and characteristics of routers can vary depending on the needs and requirements of the network. A firewall is a security device that is used to monitor and control traffic that passes between a computer network and the internet or other external networks. A firewall helps to protect a network by blocking unauthorized access and preventing malicious traffic from entering the network.